And we're live. Hi guys, Freedom Coaches here. I'm afraid you're down to two amigos today because one of us is too busy to building a van that he's going to go and live in and share this wonderful journey with you. But Dean and I are here today. And we are going to be talking business and logos and breaking out into freedom. So Dean, how has your week been? What's going on?
Yeah, good. It's been a good week. I was a little bit overwhelmed last week. There were a few days where it was kind of heavy and that feeling of shit, what have I done? that was that kind of played out in my head a lot. We created together, but I was kind of fiddling around with the new logo, which you can see on the top right hand corner, which I'm really happy with. So maybe we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
And just getting ready to launch the coaching business officially on Thursday. So a lot of work to do, a lot of bits and bobs that still need to be done. But yeah, we're getting there. And funny enough, like today, my eyes, I never get eye strain. But for some reason today, like I've just been literally non-stop on the social media, on the laptop. And at one point I was like, my eyes were like that. And I just like, oh, I've got to stop. So other than that, it's been good. Yeah, it's been good. How about you?
Oh, mine's the neck thing, like the pain at the back of the neck, from like arching over the laptop. So I get you. I mean, I said something to you just a minute ago, and it actually kind of really dawned on me as I was saying it. So obviously, Dean and I are launching our coaching businesses this week. And I said to Dean, you only get to do your first ever business launch once, and I can't believe we're in the midst of it. We're launching our first business, and it just seemed like a bit of a fairy tale moment actually when I kind of said that out loud, to think like we've been on this coaching journey together. We've been accredited and as coaches, and then designing and putting our businesses together, and then we're here and we're ready to sort of go out in the world and show everyone what we've been doing. And it feels a little bit like floating on air that actually it's going to happen.
When you say floating on air, is it just that, or is it quite because I'd imagine floating on air for some people, like I feel like I'm going through different phases. So one minute I feel like floating on air, the next I feel like I'm sinking in quicksand. And it's kind of that weird harmony. And it's kind of quite playful. And then one minute it's like very heavy and overwhelming. And then the next it's like, wow, I'm kind of moving forward. I'm going to have this freedom. I'm going to have to work for myself and be my own boss and be an entrepreneur, that word has frightened me for the last 14 weeks, I won't lie, because it's like the power of that. It's like, wow, son, I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I used to watch Dragon's Den. If anyone that doesn't watch that, it's like a panel and these inventors or business people go in front and they're looking for investment, and they go up and they get asked all these questions like, what's your numbers, what's your figures for next year, and what's the net profit? And I've always like, wow, I'd love to be one of those people. So I've always had that kind of, not fear, but that kind of admiration for an entrepreneur or someone that does it on their own and they have their own business. So I've always kind of been a bit scared the last 14 weeks, but after Thursday, I guess that becomes my new identity, which is very interesting and weird and wonderful.
Yeah, and I relate to that too, Dean, because I mean we've spoken about it in different talks that we've done, but I was of that belief that I'm an employee. I go to work, I get my little paycheck, pay my mortgage, and that's it, And to all of a sudden, I've sort of thrown myself into this world, and actually I'm going to be able to legitimately say to people as of Thursday, I'm a coach, but not only that, I've actually launched my own coaching business. Like, here's my card. Like this is my business, this is me. Like it just, as I say, it just feels unreal. Like that I can't actually, now I'm saying it, can't quite take the smile off my face, because I'm just like, how did that happen? Like, wow, like that's something that's tangible. Like I've created that. I've put the blood, sweat and tears and the energy into creating that. And that's like my little baby now. Like we've done that. And for us, I guess it'd be really interesting, Dean, to hear your story for this. Like the journey, like even just 3 months ago, starting a business course on this is what you need to do to create a business. It all just seemed a bit like, well, I'm doing a course and I'm learning things. I don't think the reality of like actually what this is going to give us and what's at the end of it really hit in. And I don't know about you, but I definitely, and along that process, have still had beliefs about myself of, am I cut out for this? You know, does someone like me do this? Is it too risky? Or, you know, am I capable? And there's still been these like beliefs to break down.
Yeah.
And I'm at the end of it and I'm like, darn it, I am capable. I've done this. I've created this. I'm about to launch this. And sure, whether it's a success or a failure is absolutely down to me. It's on my shoulders. But it's like, but I've done it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And as you said, it's like your own little baby, you know? And I'm still breastfeeding, by the way. Until Thursday, I'm still breastfeeding. But then after Thursday, it's almost like I'm going to let it go and off it toddles, you know? It'll probably crawl and wobble along and maybe fall over on its ass a few times. But hopefully it'll get back up and then slowly grow and, you know, start talking, answering back, taking on a life of its own. And that's how I see it as well, in a weird way. So, yeah, if anyone's got some nappies that they want to send me, they're bloody expensive. But no, you're absolutely right. And I think the great thing about the course that we've done is it took the overwhelm out of the equation, because the way it was broken down. And as coaches, we always say, like, let's get something quite big and scary and powerful and just literally chunk it down into small bite-sized pieces so it's far easier for us to digest. And I always saw it as like on a week-to-week basis. And then, you know, we're at this point now where we're launching and it's like, wow, you know, now look back. Now check out the rear view mirror and just see everything that you've put into place. And for me, that's so rewarding. That's so uplifting. And I'm quite proud of not only you, but the other guys that are in this journey. And I think that we've done, you know, we've built a business from nothing within 14 weeks. 14 weeks. I mean, I feel that that's such a, I mean, I was joking the other day, it's not really even a learning curve. It's like a learning vertical line, because, I mean, there hasn't been time for the curve. There just hasn't been time. And we've been like thrusted in this. I mean, from my, and I'm going to ask you yours, but I didn't have Instagram 14 weeks ago. I didn't have Instagram. I was anti-Facebook, and well, not anti-Facebook. I wasn't very keen on social media, because I felt that everyone that was on it was like showing off, was, you know, fake, doing things because they wanted to show off. And I had this limiting belief, which maybe is about me falling into that trap. And I was more concerned about what kind of person I would become if I had that platform, rather than the people doing it themselves, which is quite interesting. So, yeah, I mean, that journey has been incredible. We've had an incredible teacher. Kerry has been, I think, amazing. And, yeah, I think having that community as well, it is so important, and something that when us as well, we go into business together, it's going to be, I think, at the heart of everything we do, because you take away community and you just have isolated figures reaching milestones and celebrating alone, really. And I think, you know, to revel in everyone's success is just an amazing feeling.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, and it kind of goes to the basis of one of the things that we've done for our business. And I'm not giving away too much by talking about this, but one of the things we've done is to create a Facebook community for our own clients. And that's because obviously when you're working towards something, if you've got a community that are supporting you through the challenges, you know, championing your wins, you've got a place where you can share your experiences. So you know, you're learning. I mean, that hub is what encourages the growth. I mean, and you know, obviously one of the reasons why it's been important to part of our business that we've created a space like that for our clients. And obviously we felt the benefit of that in our own community. And the type of course that we've been on, it's obviously no coincidence that it's been designed by coaches and that they've designed a type of business course. And I actually, you really hit the nail on the head earlier when you said actually they've taken a lot of the overwhelm out, because it's been each week you've been working towards a goal, a new challenge. Probably most of us in the course, it's taken us out of our comfort zone. So we've all been sort of growing as well, week by week. There's a lot of us that have never touched social media or thought about writing content or, you know, even pictures, like photo week in terms of getting branding. That caused a lot of stress for people. And so each week it's actually been so cleverly devised, because not only are you working towards something, so building your confidence and your competence and your knowledge, but you're then seeing yourself achieve that goal. And obviously that builds on that confidence too. But actually, it's pushed every one of us outside of our comfort zones each week. Like we've had to grow each week. And obviously the motivation then, you know, it just starts to build. And it's so cleverly designed, actually, this business course, because it's so obviously designed by coaches in order to get you through to that finishing line in the best possible like mindset and obviously with the skills. And it's only talking about it now even that it's actually dawned on me how clever the course is, like what it does for you week by week by week and what it gives you at the end.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned photo week. That was quite a funny week for me, because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to do. I don't like really taking pictures, especially in public. Like, I don't mind my picture taken when I'm in like a good mood, I'm having fun with mates, things like that. But to have my picture taken in public, I was like, oh, and it was quite uncomfortable at first. And luckily, the girl taking the pictures, Dal, she knows me, and she was just taking the piss out of me all the way through, which actually relaxed me a lot. And I had another shoot with her, and it was far more relaxed, far more calm. And if I've learned anything from this course, is you have to push through those uncomfortable moments. You know, and it's not about have to; it's wanting to. And it's also, what's the worst that can happen? Like, what is the worst that can happen? Because the only story that matters is the one in your head that you've obviously created. And it's, you know, oh, I look silly. Oh, I'm going to look stupid. Oh, I'm going to look fat, or whatever the case may be. Oh, this angle's not, you know, good on me. Those kind of things, right? But really, and when you kind of catch it, it's that moment where it's like, no one else is thinking this but me. Like, this is my story, and why am I thinking like this? Why don't I change the story that actually I look all right in front of the camera? Actually, these shots are going to come out good. Really, these are going to be looked at by people and think, you know what, this looks quite professional. This looks really good. And obviously they've taken the time to go out their way to pay someone to get these shots, because they're the real deal. You know, This is not getting your Nokia 5510 out and taking
Oh, I miss
like
snakes.
1 megapixel picture. This is legit. This is kosher. So I was just wondering, that was my kind of one of my weeks that I didn't enjoy. What was like the one lesson you learned from this, or the one sticky area?
Definitely. I mean, there was a few, but I mean, photo week was definitely a challenge for me. I don't like my picture being taken, and in fact, if anyone looks at my Facebook prior to coaching, all my holiday snaps are always landscapes or somewhere that I've been. You'll rarely find a photo of me.
So, sorry, when you said about, if you go on my Facebook and look at my holiday pictures, I was expecting you to say in my head all your pictures of like a brown paper bag everywhere with like a drawn on face and a smile. Oh.
Like, and don't get me wrong, I would take, like, if I went away with, like, for example, two of my best mates, one of them, she is so hot on photos being taken everywhere, and they have to be precise. Fear, you know who you are. And like, so when I'm with the girls, sure, like, I'll mess around with some pictures. But if I was like just with family or like or another group or just on my own, I wouldn't voluntarily have a picture of me taken. And so for photo week, and again, it led into like fears and insecurities about my looks and how I feel about myself. But I was just like, oh, I'm going to have to look at wrinkles and my big old fat nose, which upsets me, and my big fuzzy Greek hair, and all the things that I usually sort of pick out on photos and think, God, that makes me look ugly and hideous, and I don't want to look at myself. Like, for the first time ever, I got these professional photos back, and obviously all those things are there, like my wrinkles and whatever. And instead of pulling myself apart over them, I sat and looked at them and thought, well, you know what? Those wrinkles tell a story. Like, they've got there through some stresses and strains, and I've come out the other side, and they're all part of Kylie. And you know what? My fuzzy wuzzy hair goes to like my dad's side and their Greek heritage, and I'm proud of that. And so does the big old Greek nose. So so actually, for the first time ever, I was actually able to look at these sort of photos, and I could see the flaws, but they didn't hurt me or upset me. In fact, I kind of wanted to celebrate them. And I was like, I don't want to airbrush these things away, because they're me, and they're all part of my story and how I've got there. And actually, I'm quite happy to put these out in the world and for people to see them. And I don't think I could have said that about a photo 6 months ago. I mean, I wouldn't have said that about a photo 6 months ago. Yeah. So sure, like, I mean, that was a big one. And I think it was a big one for loads of us in a whole manner of different ways. But I think for me, actually, even just some of the content writing weeks was, because that's something that I don't normally, it's a style of writing I've never had to do. Like, I've predominantly been in law, and the jobs that I've had after, even though they've been in finance, have had quite a sort of legal dimension. So I write in a very legal sort of way, to the point, and I probably use language that's quite boring and dull. And so those content, and I could start to see it when I started writing, like, and I was like, God, Kylie, you're not writing a contract. Like, what are you doing? So for me, even that, I mean, that was different. Like, I had to apply some creativity and use a different part of my brain and use a different sort of right that I would never have done, and I would never have pushed myself to do. So again, it was getting out of that comfort zone and pushing yourself. And I think we both agree, right? That's where you see the magic. I know it's cheesy, but that's where the development, that's where the growth happens, when you get uncomfortable.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I think it was Oscar Wilde that said, oh God, I've gone blank. Hang on. He did say something. He said quite a few things. It'll come back to me. But the comfort zone is safe. it's safe, and it keeps you there because of that evolutionary thing that we've spoken about, you know, the danger, the stepping outside of that group dynamic and being eaten and God knows what else. So yeah, stepping out of your comfort zone, and it's tough. It's not easy. It's not easy, but it's worth doing. And the hardest
Look at
things
us.
are worth doing all the time, you know? So it's almost like getting comfortable, feeling uncomfortable, which is it's a very weird thing to say. Like this week, there were times when I felt quite down or quite overwhelmed. And I just had to tell myself, like, this is all very new. This is all very fresh and raw. And there's going to be times where you're going to feel like this. You're going to feel alone. You're going to feel like the weight of the world on your shoulders because things could go tits up at any time. But then you look at it as like, well, would I rather feel this way or feel in a job that I feel stuck in, that I'm going to know that's there, that I'm going to be there for most of my years, and I'm going to spend the time wishing my life away and looking at the clock. For me, that's far scarier than stepping into something that's new, something that's by design mine, and to kind of embrace that and just say, like, you know what, whatever's going to come my way, good or bad, right or wrong, I'm just going to embrace it.
Dean, can I ask you, like, during the course of this, so, I mean, obviously from the coaching course down to now of the business course coming to an end, what do you think you've sort of learned about yourself? Like, like the person that you are now, Mr. Dean, coach, entrepreneur, sitting in front of me today, like, where do you see your growth? And what do you think is like the nuggets that you've learned?
I would say that taking ownership of what I've done. I've always been creative. I didn't realize I could use this creativity in a business sense, which has been very refreshing and exciting, because I think the worst thing you can do with someone that's creative is to starve them of being creative. And I've had jobs where I couldn't create, and in that sense I felt trapped. I felt like I couldn't showcase my talents because I was in jobs that it was very procedural based. There was like, you know, I've worked in factories, I've worked in warehouses, I've worked in offices, and to a degree I'm kind of restricted. There's a box around me. Whereas this has allowed me to, you know, create my own content, which is writing, which I love, create logos, which is more of like artistic, build a website, do my branding, my ebook, that kind of thing. So for me, what I've learned is just to take ownership, and once you find your why of you know, why am I doing this? What benefits is it going to bring me? What benefits is going to bring others? Once you really drill down into that, you're just in this flow. You're in this zone that it's very difficult for someone to question and knock you off your perch. It's so difficult. And when you're in that moment, everything becomes, I wouldn't say effortless, because obviously you have to work towards it, but it becomes, I don't know, timeless. You're sitting, you're working away, and time is just doesn't exist. You forget to eat. You know, you forget to drink. It's like, oh, I should go to bed now. It's 3 a.m. That kind of thing. And when you're in that like highway, that super highway, it's like, it's incredible, that feeling. And in that moment, you're not even feeling anything because your mind is somewhere else. Like you're out of these normal dimensions and boundaries, and you're just in this space, and it's just like you're just creating all these things. And for me, that's quite an interesting concept.
I know this probably sounds super cheesy, but like I've kind of seen you blossom, and like just conversations we've had. I I don't. I'm trying to work out in my head things that I can and can't say. So Dean sent myself and Jamie a little preview of a video that he'd put together yesterday, and it was the most incredible footage. Dean spoke so beautifully and so elegantly, and like he had been talking to the public the whole of his life, and his message was just so articulate, and it was just so there for the taking. And then Dean sent a message kind of saying how a few months ago he wouldn't have been able to do that, and it's just mind-blowing just seeing you being able to put something so beautiful together that seems so easy, and that like that's now a part of you, and that you have the confidence, and you know the you don't have that self-doubt anymore. It's like, yeah, I can do this. I put that together.
Yeah, and I mean, like, a big thank you to yourself and Jamie for encouraging me to come along and join you guys for your talks, because I couldn't have done that. I couldn't do it months ago. The thought of staring, like facing a camera and speaking, I couldn't do it. And what's interesting is that I've always, well, not always, but for many years, I've been writing. But I've been writing about other characters. And although parts of me bleed onto the page and imprinted into my characters, it felt like a disconnect. Whereas this has been completely different. This is me naked almost.
Oh, 100% you.
Yeah, and you know, just talking in front of people, I've always petrified me. And even like Zoom calls, and when we've done our first coaching accreditation, you know, all those eyes on the screen, all those mouths, it was like, oh my God, this is bloody scary. So yeah, a big thank you to you guys. And yeah, that competence and confidence, you know, the more you do something, the more confident you get, and the more confident you get, the more you want to do it. And for me, I'm a testament to that. So it's hard, it's difficult, but what's the worst that can happen? You know, I'm safe,
Definitely.
I'm calm, I'm out of danger. You know, there might be some people that think I'm a prat or an idiot, but that's fine. You know, I don't really.
He's our prat. You can't have him.
Yeah, exactly. But no, generally, like, I've had none of that yet. I've had none of that. So, and when I do it, I'm kind of going to laugh it off and maybe actually read them out, you know, and just like make fun of it. So yeah, no, that's fun. And how about you? Because I've been talking about myself for a little bit.
No, I mean, actually, one of the things that I want to pick up on there is actually speech. And the reason I want to pick up on that is because I was born with a cleft palate, and I often get quite tongue-tied and I can't quite pronounce things. And it's definitely held me back during my profession. So ironically, when I was actually in a courtroom situation, I always used to be able to get over myself, and I used to be able to get through the situation and I guess thrive off of the environment. But when talking to other professionals, especially if people that I thought were more senior than me, and more, I guess, more intelligent than me, and I don't know, more competent than me, I obviously the voices in my head used to start to go, and I'd get tongue tied, and like I'd struggle with my words. And I mean, I do that genuinely anyway in normal speech. Like when we came on this evening, like Jamie wasn't here, and I had a couple of little lines in my head that I thought I'd say, and then my tongue just couldn't, my brain and my tongue just didn't quite meet, and it got a little bit jumbled. And I would have never have done something like this before coaching, because I'd have been so embarrassed, and I would have thought, you know, oh, I'm going to trip up, and I'm going to make mistakes, and people are going to probably laugh and think, what a fool. And so, and I did it today. I'd put a video in my group today, and there's a couple of times where I trip over my words, and I thought I could edit that. And I was like, no, I'm not going to edit that. Why would I? Like, it's a part of me. It's who I am. It happens. this is all about imperfect action and putting ourselves out there. And how can I encourage other people to have that belief in themselves if I'm still going to question these things about me?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I definitely wanted to sort of say to people, like anyone that's got any sort of speech impediment or like fear of speaking in case they get tongue tied, it gets better. Like as time goes on, it gets easier. Like the more, and as Dean said, the more you do, the more competent you feel, it builds your confidence. And do you know what? On the whole, people are lovely. People are kind. People are supportive. It is going to take someone that's got some issues with themselves that are going to get on their keyboards and start typing something like that about you.
Sure.
So that was a big thing, definitely for me. And I think the other thing goes to capabilities, which kind of hits into my niche about professional development, because I questioned myself for so long about my capabilities. Like I always thought, oh, I'm not good enough for this, or I can't do this, or I can't challenge myself, or if I do, I'm going to fall flat on my face and humiliate myself. And like this process has been incredible because like week by week by week, we've been doing new tasks, building something, getting out of our comfort zone, and none of us have fallen on our feet. So maybe there might be things that we've had to tweak, but it's been a learning curve. And so that's given me the confidence that there will never be a challenge now that I'll say no to. Like if a project comes up or an opportunity or whatever it is, I'll never say no to anything anymore and limit myself because
Absolutely.
I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it happens to me. I mispronounce my worms, but generally, but that's another thing as well. Is like what I love about this is it's real. You know, like someone could knock on that door. You know, the alarm bell might go off, or I might have a power cut, and this is real. You know, this space is real. It's not like a Hollywood set. Everything that we say and we do is real, and it's live. I mean, it's live, so there is a slight pressure with that if you allow it to. And it's like, oh, people are watching. What am I going to say? Am I going to say this wrong? Am I going to, upset someone? And it's just like, imagine you're just having a chat with your friend. Just imagine that you're talking to your friend right now. And luckily for me, I am talking to my friend, and it's like I'm talking to you. And there might be others watching it. I don't know. Oh, there's only a couple watching it. But that's what I mean. It's like having a chat. It's become the norm for us now. And, how many people do lives? How many people do podcasts? It's few and far between. So, yeah, I'd say to anyone that's maybe that, and it can also be in the written form as well. I had a lot of issues growing up with spelling and reading, and I became a writer. So it's that case. If you want to get your voice out there, doesn't matter how you do it, what medium you use. If it's Facebook, if it's writing, if it's YouTube, if it's Spotify, if it's sign language, whatever the case may be, the most important thing is if you feel like you want to get your voice or message across, that you do that in any way, shape or form that, suits you.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
everyone's voice is important, and everyone's got something to say, and everyone sees the world so differently, and their experiences are unique to them.
And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Like your unique experiences and the things that make you and your fears or your strengths, whatever they are, the whole package, that's what makes you have the ability to say to someone, I've been through that. Someone's going to resonate with you. Someone's going to want to listen to you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, Dean, we're at business time. Just about to launch. It's like just there virtually in our hands. So once that business is out there and it's up and running, what does having that coaching business mean to you?
for me, it will give me that final piece of the jigsaw, that financial freedom, that freedom to go off and to work where I want, to travel where I want. And that's one side of it. The second side is to be able to help so many people and have that ability to position myself in a way that I can help people. Because sometimes it's almost like, well, I would love to help, but I've got to go to work, or I'd love to help, but I can't stay in this country, or whatever the case may be. So this will give me the platform to help so many more people, and I feel that my reach is going to be amplified in ways that I can't quite yet foresee. So yeah, it's a twofold. One is allowing me that financial freedom and that platform, and the second is to just spread my message, learn as much as I can, give out the tools, techniques, the frameworks, my experience, my blueprint, and yeah, just to help people find their purpose. Because I feel, hey,
I was going to say, people may have noticed, but the third amigo has entered the house. And now you can say your favorite line.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Jamie, Dean, and Kylie coming from all over the world. Can you hear me?
Did you fall asleep in the van?
Yeah, well, you could say that. No, I was no excuse. I was down there working away, and then all of a sudden my alarm clock went off in my pocket for something else, and I'm like, how is it 12:45 already? So better late than never, right?
You're here. Well, maybe we can just do an extended version today.
Yeah.
We could. What have you guys been chatting about? What's going on?
We've been chatting business. We've been chatting launch, what that means, all the things that we've learned about ourselves.
By the way, Kylie, it sounds like there's a lorry reversing.
It's my microwave.
What's going on? Do you want to turn it on? It's been beeping. I didn't think you could hear it.
No, it's my microwave.
Oh, okay. It's a lorry reversing. Oh, that's me.
And this is so live.
This is live.
We've basically been talking about what the last 14 weeks on the Ultimate Launch has done for us in terms of development, really, both business and personal, like how we've grown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your guys' stuff is amazing. I absolutely love it. I can't wait to settle down in the van and get back into this. I kind of got thrown off the wagon. I feel like off the bucking horse, and now I'm trying to just get back on it. But yeah, it's going to be nice to add that part to the story. The stuff that we've done in the Ultimate Launch, and I think the biggest thing is the connections we've made and stuff, and having somebody there. Because I know we've all had the experiences where we've talked to other coaches and other people that are in the space, and being like, what you guys are doing in this 2 months, it took us 4 years or 5 years to get to this step. Because it's true about having someone who's been there to guide us through this, and then have other people that are doing it too. It's being in that community for me that I feel is helping a lot. So it's super exciting, and seeing everything, and even what we're doing with this, the new logo. Oh, I feel it so good. I love it. It looks so good.
Oh, I mean, how good are you feeling about the logo?
I absolutely love it. I do. I mean, yeah. It's funny because when we had the bird logo, I wasn't really feeling it, but I didn't really say anything. But I knew that we'd try it out. We'd see what it was like, and then if things change and adapt, that's how it is. Even in another 6 months and another year, the exciting part is seeing how things are going to grow. To me, yeah. It's how we start something, or the first baby steps we take. That's exactly what they are, is just baby steps, all of it, and how much effort we put into it, and how much it's going to grow. It's bound to change. So that's kind of the exciting thing to me.
Dean, you should probably give everyone a little talk about the logo.
Little talk.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
Bit of
so
symbolism.
so we were talking about triangles. Triangles was big on everyone's mind, and we were thinking
Another
about three triangles that kind of interconnected, but like there were gaps, so they kind of morphed together to make this triangle. So yeah, we used the guy on Fiverr, and I was just like, that this is kind of the idea we're going for. This is what we're looking for, and he came back with this. And when I first looked at it, I was a bit like, and then I kind of looked at it again. I was like, actually, that's quite cool, because what I saw is that middle and that kind of like almost like a ball of energy. And then obviously like the three triangles just kind of nurturing that energy. And the more I look at it, I see a pearl, like in the middle, that's like the power, that's the beautiful bit. And for people that are kind of being coached by us or mentored or guided, we are kind of like nurturing that power to make it more bright, to make it more vibrant and powerful and strong. So I love that idea of those three triangles, as in us just moving around and just making that ball grow bigger and bigger and bigger. And yeah, for us to just be like orbiting them and just making sure, the accountability, the advice, the tools, the techniques, if they were to go off course, we just kind of go around and guide them back in. And I just love that part of the logo. For me, it's super powerful.
I love the way it flows, because it's just like every bit flows into the next, and you need the next bit in order to get to like the next, like nothing, it's all connected. So you can't take one bit out and it still have the same effect.
For me, it almost like reminds me, it's going to be weird because it reminds me of, those birds, those like little small birds that all fly together and then they kind of like go off in their own directions and then they always come back and do that same thing again. This to me is that symbol of like one of the little triangles could go off on its own, but it's always going to come back and find its flow and like be back in that shape again. That's kind of what I feel when I see it. So yeah, I love it. Symbolism. It's awesome.
People, we should ask people what they see. And what do you see, people? What do you see when you look at our new logo? What does it say to you?
Okay, we've got a couple of... We've got Sarah, Alba. We've got Summertime.
Summertime,
who is one of my clients.
Oh.
Hello, Summer. How are you doing? She's wicked. And Logger. And overwhelming. And then the next is like, wow.
It's me.
It's me. And Lotta Jenkins, who is a super funny chick. And we're always at the beach. We had a brilliant weekend. Such a brilliant weekend. So, hello, guys. Yeah, what do you think of the logo? Put something in the comments. Be interesting to hear your voice. It's very quiet other than that.
Mm-hmm.
And I had, I've got some lovely peeps watching over on this side. My neighbor, Sarah, thank you. Bless them. My neighbors are awesome. They're not just my neighbors. They're like amazing friends and their support is incredible. Talk about community. They're incredible. I have someone called Larry watching, Barry Weston. So thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in and let us know what you think of the logo. And Jamie, can you provide everyone with an update on the van? What's the status? Does it have a roof? Who knows?
Yeah. No, the van's got a roof. It's so the last couple of days I've been doing is building a custom toolbox. It's like a box that fits over the wheel wells, because when the bed's put in there, it's like a lot of wasted space underneath the wheel wells because you can't get in there to access anything. So on the one side, there used to be a fridge there. So there's this vent panel for the fridge to vent all the gas. So now from the outside, it just looks like that vent. But then when you open it up, it's like a big box for storing all my tools and stuff like that, because I have a bunch of tools and I don't want to get rid of them. So I want to have like a nice, neat place to store them in the van. So I had to like cut it to like match the contours of the van walls and stuff. And then I stained it all. And then yesterday I just kind of like installed it. And I'm not a woodworker, but I mean, it looks pretty good. I'll take some pictures and
Sounds good
show
to me.
everybody. Yeah. But the idea is trying to like utilize all the space in the van. And then it's going to be nice to have it so it can be accessed from the outside. And then also it doesn't look like anything. So no one's going to like try to break into it or anything like that, which is awesome about this van, because nobody thinks there's any monetary value inside of it anyways. So it's like a sleeper van. So that's good. Right now Lauren is helping me out. She's doing some like window frames and stuff. I just got some insulation, so hopefully we can throw some insulation in there, get that all done. Once the insulation's in, then we can put the walls on, and then that's like once that happens, we're pretty much good to go. Then it's just kind of figuring out like where the water tank goes, like putting a sink in there with running water, and then setting my TV up in there, my monitor, so I can work, and then building like a stand-up desk. And the idea is to kind of get it to like a spot where the essentials are in it and it's done, and then kind of leave room to like be able to add stuff to it as I go. But I mean, I still have till June 4th until I have to be out. So that's quite a bit of time, but it's nice to be able to like go out there and just like work, because there's a thing about like workflow. I don't know if you heard about this, but it takes like, let's like 15 minutes or something like that, or 20 minutes until you find your flow and you get into it. And then like once you break that flow, and it takes another 15 minutes to like get back into that flow. So it's nice to get in the garage, like get the music going, and then I feel that flow, and then you just keep on working until, you know, you forget to eat, you forget to do stuff, and you're just like tinkering away at it. So that's kind of how the van is right now. It's good. I have to get like the exhaust done on it. So there's certain things that have to happen, but yeah, things are coming along, and I'm trying to like take like my own advice about just like enjoying the process. And it's like, if I feel like working on the box, then I'll just like work on that part of it, and then I'll go back to something else, and like just kind of switching. I don't have like a plan straight out where it's like day 1 I'm working on this, day 2 I'm working on this. It's kind of like, I'll do this today, I'll do that tomorrow. So yeah, it's
Sounds
coming
like
along.
you're really enjoying it though. Like you're really enjoying the process of getting the van like together.
Yeah, I am. I was a little bit stressed for a bit, like when the house was kind of like in the limbo sale mode where I didn't know if it was sold or not. Now it's like 99.99%. There's a sold sign out in front of it now, so it's pretty much a done deal. So that feels a lot better. And yeah, just, you know, that just, I know this is what I want to do, but there's still those second guessing thoughts, you know, where it's like everybody else is trying to buy a house and I'm selling my house, and it's just, there's always that battle. And I'm just going to embrace that battle is just part of life, and it's part of me and what I do and how I feel. So that's it. It's good though. I'm really, really stoked to get it done and just like have this opportunity to like, you know, go park anywhere I want and like mountain bike all over the province and like just have this great time in my van and work from the van. It's going to be so neat having like a different backdrop and like taking the camera and like panning it outside the door. And it's going to be interesting to see how it all works out. So I'm definitely excited.
I mean, you literally embody breaking free.
Yeah, I'm trying. That's the thing, is I want to live what I'm going to preach. That's been my biggest, not setback, but kind of like reservation about going through this whole coaching thing and all this stuff that we're doing and everything they told us. They said, you're going to feel these ways and feel these certain things. But now that I'm actually like walking the walk and I'm like, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to like represent myself and show why I'm doing it, what I'm doing it for, you know what I mean? And then be able to like have that conversation with people and with people who are thinking about it and being like, but it's not normal. It's not the norm. And I'm like, yeah, that's the exciting part about it though. So.
Yeah. Breaking out. That's going to be awesome. So what do you plan to do? Are you going to be on the road a lot, or are you going to be like on the weekends? How's that going to? Do you
No,
know
I'm
yet?
pretty much gonna find like I know the area really well. So I know like certain places I can go and like and hang out. The thing is like it'd be nice to find a space where the van can be like pretty much stable, like stay there for a while. And then I have like my e-bike, it's a mountain bike, and I can just ride that thing everywhere all around town, do whatever I want with it. It's the most amazing thing ever. So I have some ideas. There's some really awesome like trails around here. And there's like a place I can go off and like it's like Crown Land, and you can just kind of tuck the van away in there, and then I can just get on the e-bike in the morning and do this awesome epic mountain bike run and come down to town and grab coffee, have my computer in my like backpack, like have a literally to do these jobs, guys. All we need is a phone. Like literally, that's all we need. And like a computer monitor is nice, but it's not essential. I could literally have my phone right now just set up like this and be doing the same thing with you guys. So that's the exciting part too, to see that like in this day and age, you just need your cell phone to generate any sort of income. So it's and like before, it's like this is just the beginning. You know what I mean? Like it's just the start. So yeah, man. I think also we're going to travel around me and Lauren and the kids. We're going to go for like weekend adventures to like kind of test out the van and go on some like camping trips. And like the girls are getting into mountain biking. So we're going to like take them to some easy trails. And it's just like literally we live in like one of the most beautiful areas in the world. And we're just going to get out and go utilize it and have fun. So yeah, awesome. It's going to pretty much be like an epic camping summer. Just like every day is camping.
Sounds incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, you can sell the dream right there. I mean, listening to you talk, it's just like, wow. Where do I sign up?
You guys are gonna have to come and try it out. Well, that's the cool thing too, is I can throw like a couple tents in there. So if friends want to come, you just like throw the tent out, and then everyone travels in the van, and then it's their own areas. It's like, it's just it's pretty cool.
Do you think you'll go down to Mexico?
The whole coronavirus thing is like that's kind of what it hinges on. You know what I mean? It's just I don't know what things are going to be like. I'm just going to wait till things kind of calm down. I'd like to take that, because every time I've gone down to Mexico, I've made it from here to Mexico in like 5 days, which is like driving, sleeping for 6 hours, and then driving. And it's just like crazy. I want to take like 3 or 4 weeks or 5 weeks and do the trip, because now I know like all these like sweet spots to stop in like Baja, and just like the most pristine, amazing, epic deserted beaches on the planet. And just like you can just sit there and park and camp and hang out for as long as you want. And so I want to take time and do that trip. And then Lauren and the kids, they're like, they'd love to do the trip down there with me. And then I'm right by like a main airport where I usually hang out. So we go down for like 4 weeks, 5 weeks, do the trip. Then they fly back and they hang out for a bit, and I stay down there for a month or whatever it is. Then when I'm ready to come back, they fly back down and then do the trip back up. So we're talking about it. We're planning it a little bit. We're trying to set the van up so it'll be comfortable for everybody. It's a lot different with 3 girls than just with me.
Just little old you.
Just me. It was very easy to do certain things. But yeah, so no real plan, but we're definitely talking about it and trying to figure things out. And it's gonna be an adventure. That's for
Jamie, sure. It sounds incredible.
Sounds like the dream, huh?
It's one of the dreams. It definitely is. But yeah, man, I don't know. We'll see. You guys will know. You guys will know exactly what's happening when it's happening, you know? So
are you looking at June 4th?
Yeah, June 4th is the date. I just like called and like canceled all my like electricity and gas bills and stuff like that, like getting all those loose ends tied up. A big thing too that maybe we'll have to talk about at a different time is this money that I'm getting from the house. I'm really not fighting, but thinking about not putting it back into our banking system. As I don't know if you guys know, but I've been in like the crypto space a lot since about December is when I bought my first Bitcoin. And now it's pretty amazing to think of the decentralized system. And I just want to have this control of my money. And it's pretty interesting to have this opportunity in our day and age where I don't have to put this money into a bank anymore. Like I can do something else with it. And it's just like this foreign idea that, again, it's like, it's not the norm. It's really crazy. So that's on my mind a lot right now, figuring out what to do with it, because the main thing I want to do with what's coming out of this house is have this money work for me. I believe that that's one of the best ways to make money in our day and age is to utilize that. So that's kind of like a side note, but that's definitely weighing on my mind about being smart with it and figuring out like what's going to happen there. So
absolutely. Yeah, because I mean, it's all about making your money work for you. Not working harder for it. It works harder for you. So if you can find certain ways, or maybe there's a compromise where you can diversify, so you can kind of break it up into different areas, and then it's kind of it's not all your eggs in one basket, and you maybe invest in here, you maybe invest in Bitcoin, and I think that's maybe a pragmatic way of going about it. Maybe one way, and I think maybe it could be worth getting like a financial coach or an advisor that kind of knows this area quite well, that can you pay a bit of money, but that it's an investment, right? So it gives you way more options. That's
a really, really good idea. Yeah, because I mean, like realistically, the money that's coming out of this house is life-changing money. And it's kind of a big idea with the van. It's so crazy. It's like the more money that I'm thinking about having, it's like the cheaper I'm becoming. It's like I've heard this a lot, that like millionaires, they stay millionaires because they're the cheapest people on the planet. And I'm like, I'm getting that. It's like, I'm going to have like this abundance of money that I've never had before. And I want to like step back, and I want to make sure that like I don't spend any of it until I figure out like the plan. I could go out and buy a brand new truck. I could buy brand new motorbikes. I could buy brand new everything. I could live that lifestyle, which I'm so glad I got that out of my system when I was working as a millwright in my old life. And like for 22 years is I had a truck that the payments on that truck were more than a mortgage payment on a house, if you can believe that. That's how much I was paying for a vehicle to drive around. Like the tires on that truck were worth more than the entire car I drive right now. Like so ridiculous. So I'm so happy that I did that when I was younger. I got it out of my system. Like when I was younger, there'd be no way you'd catch me driving this van around. There's no way in hell I would have been caught, because I was so worried about what people thought. And I wanted to like show the money I made and stuff like that. So now looking back, I'm like, so there was a reason for that. There was a purpose that happened to me at that time. And it was for setting me up for now. So that now when I'm getting this, that's not my desire at all. I don't want to show it off. I don't want to get all this lavish stuff. I want to like be smart with it, and really, like Dean said, it's like have it work for me, because that's what money's for. I believe money is to work for us. We're not supposed to work for money. It's like we just need to work for enough of it until it can start working for us.
Absolutely.
So. And then obviously on another flip note is like all of this that you've been going through right now, and the way that you are changing things, and what your thought processes are and where you plan on going, that makes you such a different coach to most people that are out there. Most people aren't living that complete and utter freedom that you're talking about, aren't thinking about, for example, how to make their money work for them even harder. Like you've literally put your money where your mouth is. Like you're a completely different type of coach. Like you're gonna, you could sell yourself.
Yeah. It's exciting. And like I said, that's the biggest thing is now that I'm living it and now that I'm doing it, and well, I mean, hopefully going to be succeeding in it, then that's where the power, that's where the power comes from coaching, is it's our life experiences. It's what we know. And for me, taking this chance in doing this is the best thing I could do. And even if it flops and I fall flat on my face, it's just going to be another part of the story, right? And that's it. But I think I have enough sense now, and I've had enough of life experience that my plans, like, I'm going to succeed. I'm gonna succeed at it, and it's just going to happen.
Yeah. And I'm going to have
You'll
to pull
find
you
your
up.
way.
You used the word. You said, hopefully.
Oh,
And as a coach, I'm going to have to pull you up on that, mate. Like, you
No,
corrected yourself at the end, and you said, like,
Mhm.
you know, it's gonna work. It's gonna happen.
It's funny how that word hopefully comes out. It's because I don't want to seem like overconfident, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, listen to this guy, he's so overconfident. But it's like, no, I really do believe it. The only reason I'm saying hopefully is to like protect somebody else's feelings, which is such a weird thing to think about, you know?
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's hopefully. I know I'm going to succeed. So why would I say hopefully? But
Yeah,
thanks for
I think it's our conditioning in the sense that we don't want to come across like, you know,
Arrogant.
we're arrogant, or we have all this stuff, this abundance that you mentioned before. So I think it is part of our conditioning, and we're kind of brought up and taught, for many of us, to be this way. And, you know, hopefully it'll be better tomorrow, rather than no, it's gonna be a great day tomorrow. It's gonna be a wicked day.
Yeah, because like
It's in our language. It's there, right? It's
totally. How much do you say to somebody like,
now.
"Oh, I hope you're going to be okay"? Like, even when like
Yeah.
someone's telling you that they're having a bad day or something, it's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I hope." It's like that word "hope." I think
I
it's
use it all the
used-
time.
Yeah. You probably don't even know.
It kind of gets used how Canadians use "sorry." Like, sorry, so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, did I step on your toe? I'm sorry. Did you step on my toe? Oh, I'm sorry. So, yeah, hope. That's an interesting one. That's an interesting. I'm going to blame that word on Star Wars for the overuse of it in the 70s.
Yeah.
A New Hope.
A New
Star
Hope.
Wars.
I was wondering how long it would be until we got a Star Wars little something in here.
Oh, this is Star Wars. This is different than Star Trek. I don't even know if
They're not the same. But that's
they're all out of space, right?
They are.
Yeah. Not always.
Tomato, tomato.
That's about all that's similar between them is the space part. But
As you say,
one
tomato,
they're
tomato.
trekking, one they're walking, one they're at war. That's the difference.
yeah.
Dean's got this.
Yeah. They're just trekking. Sweet.
Wow.
So guys, that's been an hour.
Yeah, it's been a while.
No, we do half an hour ones, yeah? Who's watching? Is anyone still watching? 3 people still watching.
It's incredible. We should give them something for that. But we should probably wrap this up. But we should definitely, Dean, plug ourselves for the 3 people that are still watching and say, watch this space Thursday. Watch this space Thursday.
Absolutely. Yeah. What time is it, Kylie?
Kicks off at 8:30. And
GMT.
you'll be seeing, British time. And you will be seeing Dean and I on our own individual pages from 8:30 all the way through to 9:30. And then you'll probably be seeing us live from 9:30.
Ooh,
absolutely. Yeah.
This is exciting.
Yeah.
It's going to be weird because we're going to be on our own. You know, there's going to be no Jamie, no Kylie. It's going to be.
I'll be watching. Is it 8:30 p.m. or a.m.?
PM.
Okay. Oh, perfect.
PM.
So it's like what, 12:30 your time?
Yeah.
12:30. That's kickoff. It goes on for a while. You might want to schedule out 2 hours.
Perfect.
3 hours.
Sounds amazing.
And there's going to be big prizes, Kylie. Is that right? It's going to be freebies.
It's going to be freebies. There's going to be some incentives, definitely. Dean will give away his microphone.
Yeah.
Do I have to get that picture sorted of me?
I was just about to say that. I got an A3 print of Jamie Cote live coming at you from around the world with tassels.
Oh, it's upgraded.
Elite. It's called Eden Cote.
The
I like it.
tassels
Where
are
did he
upgrade.
put that snake?
I love it. Never a dull moment. Never a dull moment.
Right. I think
Sweet.
we should wrap this up before we get delirious.
Cool. Okay, guys. Well, thanks for letting me join in at the end there. That was awesome.
welcome. Super welcome.
The van appreciates the leniency. I'm so glad I got to just jump in and say hey for the last couple seconds. And yeah, guys,
you've been
thanks
on
for
half an hour.
watching.
You've
been
been
on half an
on
hour.
that.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
And Thursday, we'll see you guys Thursday, but just separately.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Okay. See you guys. Have a good
See you
one.
Bye,
guys. Be
guys.
good.
Bye.